Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Oscar, Emmy, Tony, and 10-time Grammy award-winning artist, executive producer of United Skates, John Legend.
Hey, hey, hey. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Great to be here. Great to see you all. And I'm excited to follow my friend Ava DuVernay in her wonderful film. And as documentary filmmakers know, it is a constant battle to condense a massive story down to feature length. Our film, United Skates, a story about the vibrant community that is breathing life back into the roller skating culture, could go on forever, relishing every detail. But it's really hard to submit a 10-hour documentary to a festival. So that's why music is so important. It allows us to tell our story deeper, not longer. It sets the literal tone of the film from the moment it begins, and it acts as a common emotional thread that strings these individual stories together. And considering that some of the greatest music of all time was born and played in America's roller rinks, composing this score was pretty intimidating. But let me tell you, he pulled it off. So please join me in celebrating the score of 2018 Tribeca Film Festival Audience Award winner, United Skates. Here is master storyteller, composer, Jean-Nic Bontemps.
What's up? I got Nikolai turning the lights on. Set that right here on top of this speaker right here. And all that equipment basically is gonna go up to the DJ booth. Once a year, we host an event like this. The difference between a national skate jam and a regular local skate night is we're attracting a larger audience.
In the very beginning, I didn't travel. Why would I go out of town to do something that's great at home? But now, I have no choice.
A skate party is like an adult night times 1,000. It's my entire community in one rink.
It's a pretty big deal when we do come to a national event because, man, we haven't skated like this in 5 months.
All across the country. There's skaters who their home rink has closed, so they travel to the big parties so they can be amongst everybody. That's like their skate night. When I first started traveling, it was only about maybe 3 big parties. A few years later, other people started throwing national parties, and there's thousands of people there. It's definitely one of the ways that the skate community is keeping some of these rinks open.
Every time we go to another city, we see that we're not alone. And it makes you want to protect what we have.
What up, what up? Not at all, not at all. What up, what up? Okay, man.
The ones that laid it before.
What's happening, son? How y'all feeling, man? Welcome back, welcome back.
I want to welcome everyone here to Rich City, Chicago, Illinois. Only place to be, IR6.
On a local skate night, you're gonna hear the music in that region. At a national skate party, you're hearing music from everywhere.
A lot of people have no idea how many different skate styles there are, and there are a lot.
All right, we're about to do a style call, roll call at Rich City. Please clear the floor. They're gonna represent for the hometown.
We're gonna tear this thing up real quick. Ty, go ahead.
Up top, New York, New Jersey, my train riders. DC, Maryland, snapping.
ATL in the south. St. Louis, Kansas City.
Philly, South Jersey, Delaware.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining Jean-Nic Bontemps is United Skates co-director, producer, and writer, Deanna Winkler.
Thank you.
So the first question that I am always asked with my co-director, Tina, is how on earth did we make this film? I'm from Hawaii, she's Vietnamese Australian, and neither of us have anything to do with Black roller skate culture. However, the community found us, chose us, and so when a community gives you that trust, that comes with a lot of responsibility. So it was very important to me that every step of the way of making this film was done with the skaters themselves, with the community themselves. So when we filmed, we handed them cameras, taught them how to shoot, and they got some of that beautiful footage. And when we were traveling, we never stayed at a hotel, we never rented a car. We were picked up by a skater from whatever city we were in, driven, housed by them, fed by them, and then driven to their rinks on their nights. So we never walked in as a stranger. And I think you feel that in the film. Thank you. So that being said, it was no different with the music collaboration in this film.
That's absolutely correct. The music was also a collaboration with the skate community. I mean, I am not a skater. I am Black, in case you didn't notice. But I am not a skater, and I cannot claim that. And nor can I claim, creating the music that so many people adore in these rinks. So when Deanna asked me to join the film, she had already had a relationship with a skate producer named Kizo Kane. And he was synonymous with Chicago skate music. But we also had to think about skate music in LA and skate music on the East Coast. So it was really about a tapestry of working with the various communities and understanding the music and really weaving that in to the score. So Kizo came out to my house. We spent 3 days of, would we call that bliss? Musical bliss together, crafting all of this music that we hear. Actually, the two pieces that you just heard was part of that collaboration toward the end there, where especially when we had the roll call section, that was all part of that collaboration. And really is germane, which we talked about that word germane, right?
I didn't know what it meant.
Okay, so really organic to the picture. And it was an amazing opportunity to really bring life and shed an authenticity to the music and the score.
A quick example is, so Chicago, which is a completely different music style than, say, Detroit or New York or Atlanta or LA, their music style is called JB because it's remixed James
That's why she
Brown
hired
music.
me, JB.
Also his name. And so there's I don't know if you could hear the voice of James Brown in the last piece where he went, 1, 2, 3, ha. Anyway, we couldn't afford him. We had a very low budget, and so we actually had to pull all the James Brown out and then get Kizo Kane on the microphone to imitate James Brown.
Yes.
And then recreate that. That also...
Wait, there are no James Brown lawyers in the audience, are there?
It was legal. And we also had no money for a real orchestra. And so JB found an orchestra in Macedonia that we could afford to pay to play 2 songs.
Yes.
And he had a 6-second delay on Skype. And he's conducted them in Macedonia to get the 2 pieces that we now are honored to have an actual American orchestra playing for us tonight.
For us. That's right. I mean, one of our, I guess, themes for this was champagne taste on a beer budget.
Yes.
So Deanna has champagne taste, but we had a beer budget, and we pulled favors. We just made it happen. And part of it was, unfortunately, we couldn't afford to work with one of these many musicians that are here in LA that are gracing us with their talents this evening, and we had to go elsewhere. But we're going to make sure we can do it again in our next one.
Yeah. So just a little bit of setup from the story. The last scene that you just saw was the high point of the entire film. It's when all of our main characters come together for the first time under the same roof, along with all of the other cities and styles, for the highest celebrational moment in the film. And like any good story writer, right after the high, you drop them down for the low and make people cry. And so the next clip that you're about to see is about 4 minutes later, after the rink owner of this rink that they're in Chicago, who has owned the rink for 3 generations, his parents also owned it, his grandparents also owned it, gets up on the microphone and announces that it's the last night and that there will be no more rink. And so the clip that you're about to see, JB composed all the score for to bring out that moment.
And once we get over the excitement of watching this amazing roller skating and seeing the joy of the community, at the heart of the story, it's about people who are fighting to keep their passion alive and fighting to have spaces where they can practice their art and build their community. And when those spaces disappear, there's a huge loss to the community, to individuals, to generations. And this piece of music helps evoke some of that loss when these precious spaces are no longer available for us to enjoy our art.
We hope you enjoy it. And you can watch the rest of it on HBO if you like.
Yeah, it's tough. One last hand clap for Rich City. Last year at IR.
It's always hard to say goodbye. It's always hard to see your loved one pass. We just lost a family member. It's just something that, we gotta do. This was definitely a dream come true, though. You can only fight so much, I feel like we've given it our best swing, We're proud of what we've done for the community. We're glad to have touched the lives of so many.
When it hits and one of them closes, it says that we're touchable. It says that if it can happen at a national party, it can happen anywhere.
If all of the rinks close, then we're stuck. We gotta go back to skating outside, skating in the church or in a gymnasium like they used to do back before we had all the rinks. It's old history. I think a lot of the spirit of the people is lost when rinks close. You're not attached to a tradition that ties the generations together. You're not having that connection that people had before you.